Guys, welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with a quick toy review on the McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman. So this is from the Wave 1 of the new McFarlane kind of DC action figure takeover. So it is a figure that's been out for some time. However, I was able to pick it up for a really good price and wanted to add it to my collection. I have a lot of Superman action figures in my collection. We'll do some comparisons with those. But let's go ahead and take a quick look here at Superman. We got this standard kind of McFarlane packaging here with the DC Multiverse logo on the front. They don't do a lot to make the names stand out here on the front side of it, but we do have Superman there at the bottom. Glance onto the top, 22 moving parts, I guess 22 points of articulation, McFarlane's logo there. As we flip to the side, we do have Superman again. As we flip to the back, this is the Superman Action Comics 1000 version, which is really a pretty classic looking version of Superman. Talks about you can collect them all, so it's got, you know, your animated Superman, I believe it was like maybe Superman Unchained there. You've got your Batman Detective Comics 1000, Batman Who Laughs, which was a great figure. I've done a review on that, so you can check that out. And then I think you've got the actual Bat Raptor here. So it doesn't really show all the figures that came in the wave, but it does show the ones that did not, I guess, come with a Build-A-Figure piece. But I think Batman Who Laughs maybe did come with a Build-A-Figure piece, if I remember back correctly. And then just this is where you really get your Superman verbiage there is on this side of the box with Action Comics 1000. Let's go ahead and break Superman out of his packaging and take a look at what we got. All right, guys, so we got Superman hovering here above the ground, and the reason for that is I was not able to get him to stand. The cape on this guy is very heavy. He's a very heavy figure, but the cape is a soft rubber and has really a lot of weight to it. So I figured we'd look at accessories, then we'll get him down off his stand. We'll look at a little bit of the articulation on him and look at the stand itself. So he comes with a little collectible card, which is the same image that we did see on the back of the box art. Talks a little bit here about Kal-El, Clark Kent. It says he's 6'3", 235 pounds. A little write-up on him, a little data file. So those are neat. If you're collecting this whole, you know, if you're collecting everything in the McFarlane universe, this is a really nice addition. You know, cards were huge when I was growing up as a kid. And I think today's kids, unless they play Pokemon or Magic, they don't really see the fun in collecting cards because they're so much harder to find now. You know, I've looked for, you know, some current comic book card lines, and you can't just walk in Target or Walmart and find them anymore. So I think that's a really neat addition there, and kind of an underrated, easy accessory that companies can throw in. You see a lot of Transformers companies do that, and I think it's really cool. He also comes with a couple hands. So we've got kind of a semi-open, closed hand. He doesn't have anything to hold necessarily. He didn't get any accessories to hold, but he does come with this kind of semi-open, closed hand. Looks good, and then just a fist hand. So that is his two hand accessories. Then he has just the two relaxed hands that you see him that he has on here in front of us. We'll go ahead and pop him off of his stand, and we'll lay him to the side for just a minute. This almost makes it worth purchasing. This is a fantastic flight stand here. It is very, very, doesn't feel like it's going to tip over or fall over. It's not as big and bulky or gaudy as something like this would be. This is the NECA flight stand, which it does well. It does a good job, but there's a lot to it. It's got those big old arms sticking out, and I know that kind of allows for a little more posability in the air, but this one is really nice. It's got nice ratchets up here in the kind of in the hand, or the whatever you would call this area where you kind of lock him in. This swings from side to side with a nice ratchet on it. It can move vertical So it's really, really nice. Never doesn't feel like it's off balance when you get him on there. You also can remove this portion. Let's see how easy that'll be. Well, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to break it here on camera. But if you wanted to remove this, you can, or never put it on to begin with. And you do have a peg here that you can use as just a regular base like you receive with the rest of the McFarlane line. Moving on into the figure. So let's take a look at this guy's face. Excellent face sculpt. You've got that, that front curl there, which is sculpted individually. You can see there, it is sculpted out, separate from the forehead. So that's nice. Nice attention to detail. The cape looks really good here, the way it runs across and over the tops of the shoulders. If there's one thing we know McFarlane can do well, that's make capes. We've seen that with his Spawn figures for 15, 20 years now. So he does a great job on that. He is a bulky figure. He's very heavy. One thing I noticed right off the bat, he's heavier than like a DC Essentials figure, which we'll do some comparisons with those here in just a minute. But he is a nice heavy figure in your hand. As we move on down here, his S logo is fully sculpted into his chest. So that's another really nice detail. It's not just painted on. It is sculpted and then painted, which is fantastic. Coming on down, looking at, so these are separate. This is not, these are not molded in. You can see there, I don't know how well you can see that, but if we were to pop that leg off, you would actually just see right up into, you know, his trousers, trunks. I don't know what we call these things, his trunks, I guess. But that's really nice. The paint work on those is done very well. And moving on down, we've got just kind of those classic boots. Got a little bit of paint defect right there, which might even come off. It doesn't, I'm not sure what that is, if that would come off or not, but a little bit of a paint flaw there, a little black from somewhere. So yeah, really nice stuff. As far as his articulation, we can get his head up to about right there. So for your flight poses, it's going to get close to getting, you know, up there, but you're not going to be able to, you know, look straight ahead with that. Good bit of down. I like that. That's pretty well done. As far as his arms, you can get the full 360. There is a bicep swivel there. Tight, but it's there. As far as the elbows, I really like how they sculpted in these elbows. You can see how just clean that is through there. As far as the articulation though, it's a single jointed elbow. So that's as far as you're going to get it, is a 90 degree. Okay. So moving on down, the only area of concern that I have on this figure falls right here at the wrist. And it is, for some reason, the hand to the wrist area just looks odd to me. Going from that hand into that joint just has a strange look to me for a figure in today's world. And I know this is the McFarlane Articulation. You know, he loves to use these ball pegs there that hinge on each other. So it allows for a lot of range of motion, you know, in that hand. You can see that. That's a ton of range of motion, full 360. So you can do a lot with it. It just looks odd, you know, to me. I don't know. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Be interested to know. We've got chest or upper abdomen articulation there. I mean, it doesn't give you a ton, but it does allow for some movement in there. You can see that, and some spin side to side. Probably could get it all the way around. Again, articulation here right in the waist, so you can get a spin on that. It's very tight, but you can get it, and a little bit of back and forth. So if we're getting those flight poses, you can see that the two combined there do a pretty good job. If we were hunching over, if we were taking a punch from Doomsday, you can see we get a little bit over there, so pretty good. As far as the splits, we can get out to about right there. And coming down, you can only get up to about right there on the kick. Right there. And then going back, hardly none, because this is a harder plastic for the trousers there. That's a harder plastic. It's not going to allow for very much range of motion there. We do get a nice double joint in the knee. And then for the ankle articulation, we don't have anything in the calf. Ankle articulation, we got that same ball joint, full 360, all kinds of range of motion there. So one thing, you know, that to articulation as well. McFarlane does do well is the articulation. It's so articulated sometimes, an example of that I feel like is here in the wrist. Sometimes the sculpt suffers, but you know, nice articulation. Get those arms out to about right there. That's pretty good there. The cape really doesn't hinder that very much. So really nice. All right, we'll see if we can get this guy to stand. We're going to do some size comparisons with some different Superman figures from some past lines. All right, guys, so one thing to remember here is our McFarlane Superman in the middle, this guy, he is on a stand. He's the only one on a stand. All four of these Superman figures have a hard time standing, so do not be surprised if at some point during this comparison, one of them falls over. So what we've got going left to right, we've got the DC Essential Superman, the DC Essential Cyborg Superman, the McFarlane, DC Universe, which is really a classic. Probably a lot of people still love that figure today. And then we've got the Matty Doomsday, which I believe is still the best Doomsday figure that's ever been done, just my opinion. But we can see that he is very close in size to the DC Essential line. So if you have some DC Essential figures that you want to keep in your collection and fill it in with some of the McFarlane stuff, you'll probably be able to do that. From what I would assume at this point, the DC Essential line is dead with the announcement that DC had last week and pretty much laying off everybody at DC Direct and that sort of thing. So I'm guessing maybe the Essential line is done. If somebody knows, feel free to put that in a comment. I would be interested because I was really looking forward to them continuing with the Superman line. You know, we need a Steel, we need an Eradicator. So there's a lot of figures we need, a Superboy. I really like the whole Superman Doomsday storyline, Death of Superman, Funeral for a Friend, you know, the Superman of Tomorrow, and those guys kind of showing up. So that's really what I collect, and I'm hoping McFarlane's going to kind of go down that same path. So I went ahead and picked up this Superman in that case that does happen. But here's your comparison, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the quick review video of the DC Multiverse McFarlane Superman figure. Hit that like button. It helps these videos get out there. We just passed 700 subscribers, so to my subscribers, I really want to thank you guys. Couldn't do it without y'all. I honestly believe I probably have the best subscriber base on YouTube. You guys are fantastic, and we have a lot of good conversation in the comment section, and I really appreciate that. So hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. We'd love to have you part of the Man Cave Collectibles team. Until next time, guys, I hope you guys have a good day, good rest of your week.